Did you know that according to the latest scientific studies, around 70 million adult Americans suffer from sleep disorders? In Europe, the situation is not looking better. 31.2% of Poles over the age of 50 suffer from chronic sleep problems, which places us first, unfortunately, among 16 European countries. For comparison, in Denmark and Italy, only 16.6% of people report sleep problems. And why would that be your problem? You may belong to those millions of people who cannot clear their thoughts, tossing and turning from side to side, and sleep seems unattainable. If so, you are not alone. And what's more, today I'll show you the solution, which can completely change your nights. My name is Paul Nazaruk, and I am the creator of Awaken Health Channel. For years, I struggled with health issues that no doctor could explain, from brain fog to allergies that wouldn't leave me alone, difficulty with breathing and chronic fatigue. So, she studied Chinese medicine and naturopathy to solve her problems, and share the acquired knowledge and experience so that others can understand and solve their health problems. Use natural methods. Today, I will tell you about a fascinating discovery that might change the way you think about rest and regeneration. If you recognize these sleep problems in yourself, this video is just for you. I will show you how the peptide DSIP works, a natural substance that your body produces, but whose action can be disrupted by stress, an irregular lifestyle, and chronic fatigue. Imagine that your brain is like a car with two driving modes. Sport mode is a high level of adrenaline, quick reactions, and your body always on alert. Eco mode involves slower rotations, energy saving, and repair processes. The problem is that most of us are stuck in sport mode all day long. But here, something incredible emerges. In the year 1963, in the laboratory of Professor Marcel Monnier at the University of Basel, scientists posed a question that sounded like science fiction. Can dreams be transferred from one animal to another? The team constructed a special device. They first anesthetized the rabbits by electrically stimulating specific parts of the brain. Then, they collected blood from the brain veins of the resting animals, and they passed it through a filter. The effect was astonishing. When the filtered blood was injected into alert rabbits, they immediately fell into a deep sleep. For the next 15 years, scientists tried to discover what exactly in this blood induces sleep. They knew it had to be a small molecule, since they passed through the dialyzer. In 1974, researchers succeeded in isolating, purifying substances from the venous blood of the brain of rabbits that are in a state of sleep. They named it DSIP, Delta Sleep-Inducing Peptide, which means a peptide that induces delta sleep. For the first time in history, it has been shown that sleep has its own unique chemistry. There is a specific substance that can control it. This has opened up an entirely new field of research about regulating circadian rhythms. But stay with me, because in a moment I'll show you something. What might surprise you even more is that studies show DSIP is not just another sleeping pill. What is much deeper? DSIP functions like an intelligent system in your brain. Who knows when the time will come to change course? This peptide is composed of 9 amino acids, influences several key processes simultaneously. Imagine DSIP as an SMS sent between cells, a brief but very specific instruction. What exactly does DSIP do in the brain? Firstly, it changes the frequency of brain waves. During stress, the brain produces fast beta waves, 15 to 30 Hz. DSIP helps transition to delta waves, 0.5 to 4 Hz. The deep, slow waves of sleep are responsible for regeneration. Secondly, it regulates the chemistry of calmness. DSIP supports the function of GABA, the most important calming neurotransmitter. The more GABA, the greater the sense of calm and relaxation. Thirdly, it synchronizes the biological clock. DSIP affects the hypothalamus, the central clock in the brain that regulates the circadian rhythm. When DSIP starts operating, it initiates a whole cascade of beneficial changes. The level of cortisol, the stress hormone, is dropping. Brony is the growth hormone responsible for the repair and regeneration of tissues, improves immunity, and stabilizes body temperature. But here is what absolutely fascinated me while researching this topic. In the 1980s, Schneider-Helmert and colleagues conducted the first study on DSIP in humans. 6 healthy volunteers received DSIP at a dose of 25 nanomoles per kilogram intravenously in the morning. The results were surprising. Participants almost immediately reported a decrease in sleepiness, and total sleep time increased by 59% within 130 minutes after administration compared to placebo. But what surprised the researchers the most, despite the immediate impact on sleep, detailed EEG analyses did not show the typical pharmacological sedation associated with medications. Researchers have suggested that DSIP supports the natural functions of sleep, rather than forcing them. This is not just another sleeping pill. DSIP helps the body return to its natural rhythm and restores the balance between wakefulness and regeneration. But let me tell you about my own experience with DSIP. After months of struggling with sleep problems, a disrupted nervous system caused by toxins and hidden infections full in my lungs, I decided to try this peptide. I remember that first evening clearly. I was skeptical. I ordered DSIP from a reputable laboratory which had certificates of analysis. The first injection I gave myself in the evening, about an hour before the planned bedtime. After 15 minutes, I felt sleepy and calmed down a lot. I fell asleep very quickly. The first 3 days were amazing. I fell asleep in 15 minutes instead of an hour. Sleep without waking at night. But the real change came after a week. We will wake up rested, relaxed, and calm, but without being drowsy. After a month of use, I noticed one more thing. My reaction to stress was completely different. Instead of the immediate activation of the fight or flight mode, I can stay calm and make better decisions. Now the most important thing, how can one try DSIP? This is not a substance you can buy at the pharmacy. DSIP is a research peptide, mainly available through specialized laboratories. If you are purchasing DSIP, always ask for a certificate of analysis, COA. Check cleanliness. It should be at least 99%. My script. Note I am an advanced user. Take 10 milligrams of DSIP per vial. I dissolved it in 1.5 ml of injection water or saline. I use an insulin syringe where 100 units equal 1 milliliter. Draw 0.3 milliliters from each vial. At this dosage, one bottle lasts for 3 days. But be careful, that's a strong dose. If you are a beginner, consider smaller doses. Use 1 ampule and half a milliliter of injection water or saline solution per vial. Try starting with 10 units on the insulin syringe. That is 0.1 milliliters. After a week, it can be increased to 20 units. But before you rush to buy DSIP, I must tell you about the precautions. This is not vitamin C. It's a potent peptide affecting the nervous system. Warning: DSIP is not registered as a medication or a supplement. Long-term effects are not fully understood. Possible unknown reactions in very sensitive people. Do not take sleeping pills without consulting a doctor. Contraindications: pregnancy and breastfeeding, autoimmune diseases, depression, taking psychotropic medications, potential side effects, excessive daytime sleepiness at too high doses, dizziness, nausea, rarely, temporary mood decline in some individuals. DSIP is absolutely my favorite peptide. I use it not only for sleep, but also for jet lag. It works phenomenally when changing time zones. My experience with side effects. To be honest, during months of use, I didn't experience any negative effects. This is one of the mildest peptides I know. But remember, I am an experienced user who knows my body very well. Is it worth trying? It depends on your situation. I can help if you've been struggling with chronic insomnia for months. Traditional methods, sleep hygiene, and melatonin are not working. You need a quick solution during a difficult period in life. Are you ready for an experiment with your own health? I don't recommend it if you're looking for a magic pill without changing your sleep habits. Remember, this is a powerful tool, but like any tool, it requires wisdom in its use. It was a combination of peptide, toxin elimination, and creating the right conditions for regeneration. If you decide to try, do it wisely, with full awareness of the risks and benefits. And if you have questions about my experience, write them in the comments. In the next video, I will tell you about other regenerative peptides that support health and longevity. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out. I'm not a doctor. I share my experiences and the knowledge I've acquired. This material is for educational purposes and does not constitute medical advice. This does not replace consultation or treatment provided by a doctor or other qualified healthcare professional. Greetings.